How's it going, everyone? I want to give you guys a heads up on a PlayStation Plus game potentially being leaked, and this could end up being an October game. Usually the turnaround time on these is pretty quick, so we'll go over that. A PlayStation Plus title that is being added in September has already gotten its shutdown date, as noted on PlayStation Lifestyle. That's why we really gotta value these sports games a little bit less than we value other games, but I digress. We'll cover that. I do want to once again highlight the games leaving Plus Extra and Premium in October. It's honestly a pretty quiet month in terms of game departures because we've seen some insanity when it comes to game departures. This one, not all too bad. That's what I got for you guys on PlayStation Plus. I do want to highlight some Phantom Blade Zero notes as we've gotten some updates on that as well. They spoke to the newest issue of PC Gamer magazine. More on that at the end of this video. But first of all, PlayStation 4 trophies for the 2007 Tomb Raider anniversary have leaked online. Chances are this will end up being a PlayStation Plus Premium Classics title as a game being ported on over, and they definitely need to add some quality to the Premium catalog. It seems to be that it's one game a month at best these days. Sometimes you'll get 2 games, and sometimes you'll get games leaving Plus Premium and then 1 game getting added, or, you know, things of that nature. But it looks like Tomb Raider Anniversary has been leaked as a Plus title, and a Redditor, Velden X, did note on their thread, the style of the leak list tracks with other game releases for Sony's Classics catalog, the small number of trophies, and the design of the images. If it were Saber's remaster, it would likely have a large expansive list of things to do, and the images would be in the same style as Tomb Raider 1 through 6 was. We'll see how that does end up turning out. This is potentially a PS Plus October title. Anytime I hear about Tomb Raider and a remaster or even a port like this, I'm just like, man, why has Tomb Raider been iced since Shadow of the Tomb Raider for this long? I get that Aspyr did the classic Tomb Raider games 1 through 6 remaster, but we really need a new mainline Tomb Raider game. The fact that Tomb Raider has been iced for this long is really ridiculous in my opinion, given the quality level of Tomb Raider 2013, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and Crystal Dynamics over the last few years. They've put out nothing. They did Marvel's Avengers and worked on Marvel's Avengers, and then I get that a lot of their work was iced from doing, helping out with Perfect Dark, but man, can we get Crystal Dynamics back in the fold of putting out top-level games, because that's what they do best, especially as we saw with the Tomb Raider trilogy. So hopefully we'll get insight on that, but at the very least, you'll have a gander at Tomb Raider Anniversary potentially next month. And the Plus titles for the month of October, the Essential game should be revealed this coming Wednesday. Now, it might be a little bit different this week because there's potential for a State of Play happening. They could end up revealing the Plus titles at State of Play if it's a big enough month. Sometimes they do that, but if there is going to be a State of Play, that should be announced here very, very shortly. And if Plus is tied into that, we'll see how all of that turns out. All right, also, PlayStation Plus Extra, the headlining game this month was WWE 2K25, and there was quite a lot of pushback on that, and not quality enough for a headlining title. And yo, I enjoy the wrestling games, you know, to meme around and have a little bit of fun in it, but for a headlining game on Plus Extra, you know what they're doing. Whenever a sports game is being, like, added into Plus, or it's being offered in, like, Humble Choice, which WWE is as well, you know it's from the standpoint of the publisher sees the value in that game drastically waning. They're gearing up to release the next iteration 6 months from now, and now they want to get as many people playing the game, and they want to monetize it in the back end as much as humanly possible. That's what they do. That's what these sports games are, and I think in a lot of instances it can be predatory. On top of that, the WWE 2K25 servers are going to be shutting down in March of 2027, as noted on PlayStation Lifestyle. That is the new MO for 2K games, where the servers are usually up for 2 years after the launch of the game. But, you know, if you want to get the Platinum Trophy, you gotta go after it, and after that, the game is gonna get iced. And, you know, shutting down the servers for existing sports games, you could see it as not a big deal, but it's all to incentivize you to buy the yearly sports game and then monetize those as well. I just think, as somebody that's been following the industry and monetization practices and something like that, I think sports games are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's not highlighted as much as Borderlands, for example, where we were talking about that game being $80 and the $130 Super Deluxe Edition and everything like that, but these sports games are so predatory with their monetization practices, and I think it's because it's not highlighted because a lot of us that are talking about video games online a ton of those people don't give a crap about sports games. The sports games target that casual fan base that's into that sport, whether it be wrestling, whether it be NBA, whether it be Madden, etc., etc. But, man, the monetization and how they do, like, the card game gimmick in these games, I just think it's terrible. It's terrible. And every time I get the opportunity, I will crap all over it because I feel like it deserves to get crapped all over. But nonetheless, there you go with that. Also, PlayStation Plus Extra Premium will be having a couple games departing the service in October as well. Battlefield 1, Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed Ecto Edition, The Last Clockwinder, and Tour de France will all be leaving in October. That is one of the quietest months in terms of games leaving the service in eons. Generally speaking, you see tons and tons of games leaving PlayStation Plus every month. Sometimes the amount of games that leave PS Plus are more than the games being added to the service. That has generally been the case across the board. So when we ever get a month like October where it's only 4 games, hopefully that'll pave the way for quality additions to be adding to the service, and you know, the net trade will be very much positive on PlayStation Plus's side. So we'll see how the October editions for Plus, Extra, and Premium turn out. By the way, the exact date of these games leaving the service is September 16th, so jump on these games if you're interested in playing any of them as soon as possible. That's Battlefield 1, Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, and The Last Clockwinder, and Tour de France 2023. Lastly, Phantom Blade Zero director has spoken to PC Gamer Magazine, and Liang spoke about how one boss in particular talked about the challenging modes of the game. Now, bear in mind, while Phantom Blade Zero can be a fairly challenging action game, they have reiterated it is not a pure Souls-like game. In the normal difficulty, it has some of the Souls-like elements as far as that boss in particular. He has fixed combos, and if you fight him enough times, you'll figure out his combos. Sounds like the classic formula of die, die, learn, win, but in the extreme difficulty, it's a completely different direction. The dev apparently tried to borrow a concept from fighting games and incorporate it into his AI. On Hellwalker difficulty, it'll analyze the situation he's in and whether it's to his advantage or disadvantage, just like fighting game AI. This is also known as input reading. The boss is going to have some sort of input reading aspects to it, and that lets him use different attacks based on the situation. We have stated we call Lucky Draw, where if he lands a hit, he'll continue a combo, but if he doesn't hit, he's gonna do something else. He tries to use the result of his last attack to determine what to do next. So, a little bit of interesting gameplay elements rolling out with Phantom Blade Zero. This is one of those games that it's gonna have a wide variety of difficulty options, so I know the immediate thought about this game was, oh my god, another Souls-like action game. It is not that, and they've been reiterating that over and over again. It might have some certain elements in terms of design choices, but you've got a plethora of difficulty options. You can play this game at easier difficulty, and that's not a big deal. It is going to have a sizable amount of content. It's neither a Souls-like game nor a traditional action game. They are looking at it as something that could create a new identity altogether, which anything that's either akin to older action games or the style of action games and not a Souls-like game, or trying something different, I'm all aboard. I think the Souls-like formula, look, I get a lot of people are into it, and more power to them. There's gonna be a billion of those games coming out. I feel like anytime we see one of these gaming events, it's like, oh, here's another Souls-like game. Oh, Ghost Runner 2 came out? Well, how about the Ghost Runner devs work on a Souls-like game as well? Game Freak, here's a Souls-like game from them as well. We've got enough of those, and hey, we're gonna get a lot more, and there's gonna be some that are gonna be really great. Lords of the Fallen 3 gonna come out next year as well, but Phantom Blade Zero being something to its own, and being a game that looks to be coming out in 2026, fingers crossed. We were supposed to get a date on that by the end of this year, or at least a release window. Hopefully that still comes, potentially at State of Play. But we'll see how all of that turns out. But that is going to do it for me. Again, another PlayStation Plus premium title potentially leaked, and it could be coming next month with Tomb Raider Anniversary. Hopefully that comes to fruition. The Essential title should be revealed this coming Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. As far as one game, it will be shutting down here very shortly. As far as one Plus Extra game, WWE 2K25 will be shutting down in March of 2027. And hey, that's not that far away. It's just the story of sports games these days. The Plus Premium departures include Battlefield 1, Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed Ecto Edition, The Last Clockwinder, and Tour de France 23. Very, very tame as far as that's concerned. And Phantom Blade Zero, get some new details as well. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, guys, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.